What up, everybody? Welcome back to Jayfabe Wrestling. And yeah, we're in SummerSlam season. SummerSlam coming in a few days. And now we're looking at rebooking SummerSlam 2016. Took place on August 21st, 2016 in the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. And let's get into the card right now. So we have a couple of pre-show matches here. We got the Usos, American Alpha, and the Hype Bros defeating Fandango, Tyler Breeze, The Ascension, and the Vaudevillains in a 12-man tag team match. Then we got Sami, Zayn, and Neville defeating the Dudley Boys in a tag team match. And then we got Sheamus defeating Cesaro by pinfall. This was the first of their best of 7 series. And in the opening match, we got Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens defeating Enzo, Amore, and Big Cass. Charlotte defeating Sasha Banks to regain the Women's Championship. The Miz defeated Apollo Crews to retain the Intercontinental Championship. AJ Styles defeated John Cena. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson defeated the New Day by disqualification. Dean Ambrose defeated Dolph Ziggler to retain the WWE World Championship. Nikki Bella, Natalya, and Alexa Bliss defeated Becky Lynch, Naomi, and Carmella in a 6-man women's tag match. Finn Balor defeated Seth Rollins to win the inaugural Universal Championship. And in the main event, Brock Lesnar defeated Randy Orton by technical knockout. So yeah, obviously this show is known for the brand split. We got the this is kind of like the first big show post draft, so it was really interesting to see here. We have some few dream matches here. We got AJ Styles and John Cena, which was a great match. And then Brock Lesnar and Randy was also a really hyped match. Obviously, the finish wasn't the best finish, but it was a really hyped match, and it was really a big main event. And then what I feel, though, is I feel like they rushed a lot of things. First off, the Universal Championship. I feel like this could have been on the Raw pay-per-view. And then even the WWE Championship match, it felt more like a mid-card match. So I feel like the Universal title really took the shine off the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And yeah, I just feel like, again, there's definitely too much matches here. So we got to cut down some of the matches and use some of the people better here. But overall, I think it was a really good card, but I think I could make it better. So let's get into my card right now. All right, the first match I have is for the World Tag Team Championship. I have the New Day defending against Enzo and Cass. Yeah, this was like a big babyface versus babyface match here. And I think it would be a really fun match just because you have, again, the charismatic duo of the Enzo and Cass and the very entertaining trio of the New Day, both baby faces. The promos would be hilarious. And yeah, it could just be a straight up challenge from Enzo and Cass. They say, the New Day, you guys been running the division, but this is our time now. We challenge you at SummerSlam. And yeah, they just accept. And the club is mad because they wanted to be number one contenders. So yeah, I would just have a nice clean babyface versus babyface match here. And it looks like Enzo and Cass are about to get the win, but maybe the club can distract them, and the New Day would somehow get the win here. And yeah, obviously the New Day, they were going to break the record, so I didn't want them to lose the belts here. But also you want to keep Enzo and Cass strong, and it also allows Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson to get involved in the card. So yeah, overall, I think this would be a very solid tag team match. This is one of those dream tag team matches that we never got, and I think SummerSlam would be the right time to do it. All right, next up we have the United States Championship match. We got Rusev defending against Cesaro. So yeah, the build can be very simple here. Rusev saying he's the greatest U.S. champion ever and no American can beat him. And then Cesaro can come out and say, maybe you're right. No American can beat you, but I ain't American. But I know what it's like to be a real American, and I challenge you for the United States Championship. Rusev can kind of say no. He says he's not in his league. And then Cesaro can pin him in a tag team match, and Rusev gets upset and says, you know what, me and you at SummerSlam. And yeah, Cesaro can also run in after one of his matches, and he's about to give him the swing, but Rusev can escape. And then the next week, Rusev can try to get Cesaro the accolade, but Cesaro breaks the grip, and Rusev runs away. So yeah, I think this would be really fun here. Really good match. And yeah, I would also have Sheamus in the background being jealous as well that he didn't get the title match. So he would actually cost Cesaro the match here, and then they can build towards their best of 7 match. So Rusev would retain after Cesaro is going for the swing while the ref is down. Sheamus can hit him with a brogue kick, and Rusev can get the pin. But yeah, I think this would be a really fun and physical match between the two. All right, next up we got for the Intercontinental Championship, we got The Miz defending against Dolph Ziggler. So yeah, obviously these guys had a great feud in 2016. Started off at Backlash and kind of concluded at TLC. I would just start the feud a little earlier here. So basically, I would have the Backlash match here. I believe that was when Maurice sprayed Dolph Ziggler, allowing The Miz to get the win with some like perfume or something. So yeah, the build would be very simple. The Miz would talk about how, he doesn't get enough respect on SmackDown, and then Dolph Ziggler can say that this is a new chance for him, a restart, and he wants to prove that he can still work and be the man. The Miz can throw shots at Dolph Ziggler, calling him his career failure and all that, and saying that he doesn't have what it takes. So yeah, really build up Dolph Ziggler as a sympathetic babyface here, and it will conclude with Dolph Ziggler winning the belt, maybe at No Mercy. But yeah, as of now, you got to build the heat, build the tension. So yeah, The Miz will get the win the same way he won at Backlash. Keeps the feud going strong, and yeah, I think this will be a strong match on the card. All right, next up we got the Women's Championship match here. I got Charlotte defending against Sasha Banks. So the only change I would have is that I would have Sasha Banks win on Raw, happen on SummerSlam. I don't understand why Charlotte, lost the belt beforehand. That just didn't make sense to me. And yeah, simple build here. Charlotte says, I defeated you at WrestleMania. I'm the greatest women's champion of all time. Sasha says she wants one more shot. She wants her shot in Brooklyn. She says she's faced a lot of demons in Brooklyn, but she's going to break the curse and win the women's championship. Sasha can laugh at her and, yeah, accept. And, yeah, obviously these two have great chemistry here. They can talk about their history in NXT, how Sasha thought she was the best, but then Charlotte eclipsed her. She can say that. And Sasha can say that, she's done more to the women's division than Charlotte has, and she just needs the belt to get her validation. So yeah, I think this would be, again, great match. They had a great match on Raw with Sasha Banks finally getting the women's championship. So yeah, just do everything else there the same. Sasha gets the clean win, and yeah, she gets the emotional interview here. So again, I think WWE jumped the ball by doing it too early, and saving it this moment for SummerSlam would have definitely added to the card for sure. All right, next up we got Bray Wyatt versus Braun Strowman. So this will be an interpromotional match because Bray got drafted to SmackDown, Braun got drafted to Raw. So the build can be simple here. Bray says, you know what, I can get you back to SmackDown. Come join me. And Braun declines. He says he wants to be his own man. He says he thanks Bray Wyatt for everything, but he wants to be his own man, and he's going to dominate on Raw. And Bray says he respects that, and then him and Eric Rowan can try to jump Braun Strowman, but Braun Strowman fights them off. So yeah, and then on SmackDown, Bray can cut a couple promos on Braun saying, he is selfish and that he's biting the hand that feeds him, and that, he's going to put the monster that he created down before he even gets a chance to dominate Raw. And then, yeah, he can send Eric Rowan to Raw, and Braun Strowman can beat the hell out of him. So put him through the announce table with a power slam. So he's kind of out the equation. And Braun says he's been, doing the bidding of Bray Wyatt for almost a year now, and that he's finally happy the monster is going to be let free. And the first person he's going to go after is Bray Wyatt. So, yeah, again, just some good promos here, good feud, and I thought that how WWE split them up was very weird. At least give them like a storyline or angle for them to break up, and yeah, this would be, again, a good match. No one has to really turn face here. It's kind of like still a heel versus heel match, but Braun Strowman gets his revenge and defeats Bray Wyatt, and yeah, the monster is on the loose. All right, next up we got Finn Balor versus Chris Jericho. So yeah, Chris Jericho can be, again, cutting the promo on the draft and saying he's the best. he's the greatest and he's happy to still be Raw, is Jericho. And then the newest draftee, Finn Balor's music comes and he enters the ring and he says he's honored to be on Raw. He tries to shake Jericho's hand and Jericho does shake it in the beginning. He says he's happy to be here with a legend like Chris Jericho and he's hoped to make a big name just like Chris Jericho did on Raw. Jericho can pretend to be like, all right, ladies and gentlemen, the new draftee Finn Balor. Then boom, he can attack Finn Balor. And he says he hates, these young guys trying to take his shine when they can't even lace Jericho's boots. And he says he's going to end Finn Balor's career before it even starts. And yeah, he says, the thing with Finn Balor is he's too much of a nice guy. You need that edge, like how I had it. You need to be, you need to be not caring about your opponents. You need to be destructive. You need to be like me, Y2J. And Finn Balor says, you know what? Jericho might be right. He's kind of a naive rookie. So Finn Balor won't be at SummerSlam, but the Demon will. So yeah, and then the Demon, can kind of play a couple of vignettes during Jericho's matches and kind of get him spooked. So yeah, that would be the build here, and I think this would be a better way to debut Finn Balor. Kind of pushing him right away to the Universal Championship was cool, but I felt kind of rushed. And yeah, this would be a great dream match as well. Jericho, one of the greatest, Finn Balor, one of the future greats. And yeah, it'd be a great match. And of course, Finn Balor has to get the win here. All right, next up, we got a street fight. Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. So the build here is simple. After Battleground, Kevin Owens is pissed because Sami's still on Raw. He says, I can't believe it. He wants to get away from Sami Zayn. He tells Mick Foley he wants to be traded to SmackDown. And Sami Zayn comes out and says, look, Kevin, you know what? I was hoping to be on a different show from you, but let's face it, Kevin. We're going to be fighting forever. But how about we end this at SummerSlam in a street fight once and for all, me and you, in a street fight. And Kevin Owens, he says no, and Sami says, you know what, that's okay, because our last match will always be remembered for me defeating you at Battleground. And Kevin Owens gets pissed, and he accepts the match here, and yeah, they don't really need to have any physical altercations. You could just be talking about their history of being friends in Montreal, and how Sami Zayn paved the way for Kevin Owens to come here, and then they can talk about Kevin Owens turning on him in NXT, and then they can talk about how Sami Zayn came to the main roster to fight John Cena, and Kevin Owens also did, and Kevin Owens defeated John Cena, and then Sami Zayn obviously eliminated from the Rumble, and their history here, fighting at WrestleMania. So yeah, just be a lot of vignettes to really show how personal this feud would be, and yeah, I think these guys in a street fight would be amazing. We kind of saw it at Elimination Chamber last year in Toronto. It was an amazing street fight they had. So you can have a similar match here. And yeah, I would actually give Kevin Owens the win so he can get the win back from Battleground. But yeah, this would be a great match and a great time to blow off their feud. All right, next up we got John Cena versus AJ Styles. So yeah, this match was amazing. Got to keep everything the same here. And yeah, the only change I would have is instead of like blowing off their first match at Money in the Bank, I would have had John Cena and AJ Styles face the club at Money in the Bank. And that's when AJ can turn on John Cena. They can do the beatdown on John Cena. Then they can have the Battleground 6-man tag match with Enzo and Cass. So this would be their first one-on-one match, so you can hype it up like that. And yeah, the hype is very simple here, with AJ Styles, saying that he's the new face of SmackDown, and, what he loves to do is beat up John Cena. And then John Cena says, you know what, your boys are on Raw. How about we go at it one-on-one, no BS, me and you, one-on-one, the dream match, Mr. TNA versus Mr. WWE. So yeah, AJ Styles can accept, and he can, again, show resentment in his promo, saying how people thought John Cena was the best when he was killing it in TNA, putting on 5-star matches, but everyone was talking about how great John Cena is, and that pissed him off. So he came to WWE to prove a point, and that, John Cena, he ain't better than me. I'm phenomenal. I'm AJ Styles. And yeah, John Cena cut promos again, how like there's so much people that, claim they're better than John Cena, but at the end of the day, I'm still here. And where are those other people? They ain't around here anymore. So yeah, Cena could cut some good promos here. And yeah, keep everything the same. They had a great match, and then after the match, obviously, John Cena left his wristband in the ring. So that was really cool as well. But yeah, this was a great match, and AJ got the clean win, which was super surprising at the time, but well deserved, and the match of the night for sure. So yeah, keep everything about this the same. All right, next up we got the semi-main event. We got Randy Orton from SmackDown versus Brock Lesnar from Raw. I do not have this main event. And yeah, keep everything the same here with the build. Obviously, Randy cut a promo on Brock Lesnar saying he doesn't need any enhancements or something. So that was pretty funny. So this was when Brock obviously fought Mark Hunt, I think. And then he kind of got... he got booked for steroids or something, so that was hilarious. What Randy said, and yeah, the build again, simple build. The promos again, Randy says him and Brock came up at the same time, and then when Brock left, it really pissed him off. And then Brock can say he doesn't care about Randy Orton. He has no relationship with Randy Orton. He's about to kick his ass, and he's out for blood and money. So yeah, Randy can say that he's from the wrestling family. He has, love for the wrestling. He's not just here for the money and the fame like Brock Lesnar, and he's going to put him to rest at SummerSlam. So, yeah, good stuff here. And obviously that promo where Heyman was saying, you could never hit an RKO. And then obviously Randy comes out of nowhere, hits him with the RKO. It was a cool moment. And then same when Brock Lesnar invaded SmackDown and hit Randy with the F5. So, yeah. Paul Heyman can, again, cut great promos on Randy Orton, saying he is great, but he's not greater than Brock Lesnar. And yeah, Brock can also say that, the reason Randy became world champion in SummerSlam 2004 is because he left. He paved the way. He won this championship 2 years ahead of him. And then just when he left is when Randy became world champion. So Brock could also mention that as well. And yeah, the only thing I'll change is I want to have the finish here of the TKO. I would definitely have a spot where Brock goes for the F5, Randy counters into RKO, and that would be a great near fall. But yeah, I would just have Brock win clean with the F5. I don't need no TKO finish. It's not UFC. Also, we don't need to be elbowing Randy hard way. So yeah, wasn't a fan of that. But yeah, just again, these guys had a really good match. But I think just changing the finish would make the match even better. So yeah. All right, in the main event of the evening, we got for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, we got Dean Ambrose defending against Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. So yeah, this would be the same match at Battleground, but not have the Battleground match at Battleground, have the Battleground match at SummerSlam. I felt like this was the right time to do it. This is the big money match we needed for the world title. The Shield guys all, again, in the mix here, and then we can even talk about how, at Money in the Bank, they all won world titles at the same day, how they're all linked together, and that, they thought they would be family, but obviously, all three of them want to be the best, and they're all trying to prove to be the best. So yeah, first time ever Shield triple threat match. And yeah, again, I think they really dropped the ball on not having this match at either WrestleMania or SummerSlam. And I do think that, even at Battleground, it was a weird time to have it because Roman was also getting suspended, I think, for taking some stuff. So, yeah, this would have been just a better time to do it. At SummerSlam, if you look at what Roman wasn't even on the card. He was like scrapping with Rusev, and then Dean Ambrose and Ziggler. That wasn't a great match. So this would have been the right main event as well, to have these guys main event, the current stars main event. And yeah, I would have Dean Ambrose get the clean win here, because that title was going to SmackDown. That would obviously lead to the Universal Championship being created. But again, yeah, I think these three had a great match, great chemistry. The promos would be great of, them even talking about how Seth turned on them, and Seth saying that he did it for the benefit of the team. He can even say, like, he saw how great everyone was, and he's the one that needed to pull the trigger. So yeah, you can even talk about that in the build as well. And yeah, again, great match. Dean Ambrose gets the win. SmackDown roster comes out to celebrate with him. So yeah, it's a cool moment for sure for Dean Ambrose. So yeah, guys, that is my card. Again, let me know what you guys think, if I improved the card or not. I think I did improve the card. First off, I didn't have too many matches here. I felt like even the matches on the pre-show, they don't get enough respect. So, like, I wouldn't even have so many matches on the pre-show. The Shield triple threat, like I said, would be much better than both Finn and Seth and Dean and Dolph. And yeah, Dean and Dolph felt like a mid-card title match. And yeah, Finn, I don't think he was ready yet, so giving him Chris Jericho, I think, would be a great match as well. That's another cool dream match to have. And then Kevin Owens, he was in the tag match with Jericho, but he does something better. Him and Sami Zayn, who was on the pre-show, I think they could blow off their feud in a street fight. I think that'd be a great match. And then you keep John Cena and AJ, Randy and Brock the same. Those are great matches. And then Bray Wyatt, he wasn't even on the card, so I feel like, him blowing off his partnership with Braun Strowman would be a cool program. Save Sasha Banks' big win for SummerSlam, and I think that their match on Raw was the better match than SummerSlam. I don't know why Sasha even regained the belt, so yeah, giving Sasha her moment in Brooklyn. And then The Miz and Dolph, they can start their feud here rather than Apollo Crews, I felt like wasn't ready at the time. And then Rusev and Cesaro can have a great match. That can be just as great as Cesaro and Sheamus, but it'll be for the U.S. Championship. And then in the tag match, I think New Day and Enzo and Cass would be better than the club, just because, the Enzo and Cass and the New Day both over baby phases, so it'll be a really hot tag team match. And so yeah, guys, that is my card. Let me know what you guys think, if my card is better or not. And yeah, let me run down the card for you guys right now. Alright, so the first match for the World Tag Team Championship, the New Day defending against Enzo, Amore, and Big Cass. For the United States Championship, Rusev defending against Cesaro. For the Intercontinental Championship, The Miz defending against Dolph Ziggler. For the Women's Championship, we got the Queen Charlotte Flair defending against the Boss Sasha Banks. Then we got the Eater of Worlds Bray Wyatt versus the Monster Among Men Braun Strowman. Then we got the Demon Finn Balor versus Y2J Chris Jericho in a street fight. We got Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. Then we got the phenomenal AJ Styles versus the face that runs the place, John Cena. The Viper, Randy Orton versus the Beast, Brock Lesnar. And in the main event for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, the Lunatic Fringe, Dean Ambrose versus the Big Dog, Roman Reigns versus the Architect, Seth Rollins. So yeah, guys, that is my card. Let me know what you guys think. Catch you on the next one. Peace.